Disclaimer: the information provided in this video is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as medical advice. Always consult with a healthcare professional before changing your diet or lifestyle. Look closely at your hands. If you are over 60, a terrifying invisible countdown might already be ticking beneath your skin, quietly robbing you of the one thing keeping you from a wheelchair. Right now, as you read this, your body might be cannibalizing its own foundation, dissolving your muscle fibers into nothingness while leaving you completely unaware until it is too late. Imagine the horror of waking up one morning, looking at a simple jar or a flight of stairs, and realizing your own limbs no longer obey your will, forcing you to beg others for the dignity of basic survival. This is not just aging, it is a silent, aggressive theft of your autonomy. Welcome to EldraFit Nutrition. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. If you want to protect your freedom and uncover the harsh truths about longevity, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Your support gives us the strength to continue creating deeply researched, life-saving videos like this one. The decay begins in absolute silence, but it leaves devastating clues that most people mistake for ordinary tiredness. The first warning sign is a subtle yet profound drop in your grip strength. When you struggle to twist open a jar or notice your fingers trembling under the weight of a light grocery bag, your peripheral muscle fibers are starving for energy. Soon this evolves into the second sign, a noticeable drop in your walking speed. If you find yourself taking shorter, slower strides just to cross the street, your thighs and glutes are losing their functional power. The third indicator is even more sinister: frequent stumbling or a sudden loss of balance. Your core and lower leg muscles act as your body's automatic stabilization system. When they rot away, your reflexes lag, leaving you vulnerable to a catastrophic fall. Fourth, you might notice your arms and legs becoming loose and saggy, even though the scale says your weight has not changed. This is fat stealthily invading and replacing your healthy muscle tissue. Fifth is a crushing sense of exhaustion after minor physical exertion, like climbing a few steps. The microscopic power plants inside your cells, the mitochondria, are vanishing, leaving your muscles drowning in fatigue. Sixth, you find it increasingly difficult to stand up from a low chair without pushing off the armrests with all your might. Your quadriceps are failing the minimum structural threshold required for daily life. Finally, the seventh sign is unexplained weight loss accompanied by a hollow, emaciated appearance. This is the ultimate red flag. Your body is actively eating its own flesh for fuel, triggering a total collapse of physical strength. Before we uncover the biological mystery behind this internal decay, take a moment to look inward and reflect deeply on your own physical reality. Ask yourself this critical question and share your honest answer in the comments below to help our community understand what you are facing. Which statement frightens you more right now? Type A if it is the fear of losing your independence and needing someone else to help you get out of bed every morning. Or type B if it is the sudden realization that your physical body is changing and weakening faster than your mind can accept. Please type A or B in the comment section below. To truly halt this terrifying descent into physical helplessness, we must peer beneath the surface and confront the hidden biological sabotage occurring within your muscle cells. There is a profound medical phenomenon that locks seniors over the age of 60 into a state of progressive wasting, and it is known as anabolic resistance. When you were younger, your body possessed a magnificent, highly responsive switch. Every single time you consumed a meal rich in protein, this switch would instantly flip on, flooding your system with signals to build, repair, and fortify your muscles. It was an elegant, flawless cycle of renewal. But as the clock ticks past your sixth decade, a cruel transformation takes place. This biological switch becomes deeply rusted and jammed in the off position. Your body begins to develop a stubborn, dangerous deafness to the very nutrients meant to save it. You could eat what you assume is a healthy diet, yet your cells refuse to listen to the signal, leaving the essential building blocks of life completely locked out of your tissue. Think of your muscular structure as a grand architectural marvel that requires continuous, daily maintenance to withstand the relentless pull of gravity. In a healthy body, there is a perfect harmonious balance between two opposing forces: the demolition team that breaks down old, damaged structures, and the construction crew that lays down fresh, resilient bricks. Anabolic resistance completely destroys this harmony. The demolition team never stops working. It aggressively tears down your muscle fibers hour after hour. Meanwhile, the construction crew stands completely paralyzed, unable to lay down a single new brick because the nutritional blueprint can no longer be read by your cells. This means that every day you spend in this state, your architectural foundation grows thinner, more brittle, and closer to a catastrophic collapse. The protein you ingest is no longer recognized as a building material. Instead, it is filtered out as waste, leaving your muscles in a state of perpetual, agonizing starvation. This is why ordinary lifestyle advice fails so miserably for older adults. It is not a simple matter of eating a little more or moving a little faster. It is a fundamental breakdown of your body's communication network. This cellular resistance doesn't just make you weaker, it destabilizes your joints, accelerates the degeneration of your cartilage, and forces your skeletal system to bear a heavy, unnatural burden it was never designed to carry alone. Every movement becomes a strain, and every strain edges you closer to the absolute loss of physical freedom. Understanding this deeply hidden betrayal is the only way to break the cycle, because you cannot fix a broken house until you understand why the foundation refuses to hold the bricks. To defeat this devastating decline, we must expose the ruthless, silent saboteurs that actively strip away your strength every single day. The primary architect of this physical destruction is insulin resistance and chronically elevated blood sugar. When you consume a diet high in refined carbohydrates and sugars, your bloodstream becomes flooded with excess glucose. For your fragile muscle tissue, this toxic overload is utterly catastrophic. Glucose behaves like an abrasive acid, running through your delicate blood vessels and coating your structural proteins in a suffocating, sticky sludge through a process known as glycation. This process hardens the microvessels that feed your limbs, effectively starving them of oxygen and vital nutrients. Even worse, it destroys the intricate nerve endings responsible for firing your muscles. When these nerves die, the electrical signal from your brain can no longer reach your limbs, leaving your muscles stranded, unrevved, and left to wither away in absolute starvation. The second silent threat is the tragic misunderstanding of senior nutrition, particularly the mistake of eating a diet that is far too sparse or poorly structured. Many older adults shift toward what they believe is a gentle, clean diet, surviving on simple bowls of white rice, porridges, or plain broths. Because of the profound anabolic resistance we explored earlier, your body now requires a significantly higher, more concentrated dose of pure protein in a single sitting, just to wake up your sluggish metabolic pathways. If you consume protein in tiny, scattered amounts throughout the day, or rely on low-quality, processed sources, you completely fail to achieve the biological spark needed to activate muscle synthesis. You are essentially teasing your body with nutritional scraps, while your structural foundation remains starved, neglected, and dying. Finally, a pervasive hidden fire, known as chronic low-grade inflammation, works around the clock to dissolve your remaining strength. As metabolic health declines and toxic visceral fat quietly accumulates around your internal organs, your body enters a state of constant, low-level emergency. Your immune system mistakenly releases a continuous flood of destructive molecules called inflammatory cytokines. These toxic chemicals circulate through your bloodstream like a demolition crew, completely out of control, viciously attacking and dismantling your healthy muscle cells to fuel an invisible war inside your body. You are not just getting older. Your physical form is being systematically consumed from within by a toxic combination of metabolic chaos, nutritional neglect, and chronic internal inflammation that strips away your life, your independence, and your vital energy. To break this cycle of decay and reclaim the vibrant, unshakable strength of your youth, you must implement a precise, scientifically backed protocol that targets the core of your cellular biology. The first and most critical step is to cross what scientists call the leucine threshold in every major meal. Leucine is a powerful amino acid that acts as the master key, capable of unlocking the rusted switch of anabolic resistance and forcing your cells to build new muscle tissue. To achieve this spark, you must reject low-quality foods and focus entirely on clean, nutrient-dense proteins. Incorporate wild-caught fish, fresh seafood, organic grass-fed meats, and eggs into your daily routine. Do not overload your system with excessive protein, but ensure you consume a targeted amount of 4 to 7 ounces per meal, giving your body the exact raw materials it desperately needs to rebuild its failing foundation. Alongside this, you must introduce specific superfoods designed to restore blood flow and detoxify your tissue. Deep, dark leafy greens are essential because they are loaded with natural nitrates that dilate your blood vessels, allowing oxygen and amino acids to rush into the furthest, most starved corners of your limbs. Incorporate asparagus and kale into your diet, as they work gently to cleanse your body of accumulated uric acid and metabolic wastes, quickly flushing away the painful stiffness and swelling that plague your mornings. For your mineral balance, completely abandon standard refined table salt and replace it with unrefined sea salt, such as Baja Gold sea salt. This remarkable nutrient provides essential trace minerals, including highly absorbable potassium and magnesium, which are absolutely vital for maintaining fluid balance, preventing debilitating cramps, and powering deep muscle contractions. However, building your body up is impossible if you do not simultaneously stop the poisoning. You must instantly eliminate high sugar and refined carbohydrate foods that fuel the internal fires of inflammation. Furthermore, you must avoid seemingly healthy foods that are secretly packed with high amounts of oxalates, such as raw spinach, almonds, kiwi, beet leaves, and certain grains. These oxalates bind with free calcium to create sharp, microscopic crystals that lacerate your delicate membranes and cause structural damage. Finally, flood your system with life by drinking at least 2.5 liters of pure water every day, ensuring your newly formed muscle cells remain deeply hydrated, resilient, and fully protected against the relentless pull of time. This is your defining moment, a boundary line where you choose whether to surrender to progressive decay or actively fight for your physical freedom. For the next 30 days, I challenge you to strictly commit to this muscle protective protocol with absolute dedication. Strip away every single gram of refined sugar and toxic carbohydrate that has been quietly eroding your nervous system and starving your cells. Infuse your body daily with rich, nitrate-dense leafy greens, clean celery juice, and deeply nourishing, high-quality proteins that hit the exact biological threshold your fading tissues require to heal. Flush out the cellular debris by drinking at least 2.5 liters of pure water every single day, and fiercely avoid the hidden oxalate traps that tear at your healing muscle membranes. This is not a casual diet. It is an emergency restoration project for your body's structural foundation. As you embark on these 30 days, track your physical transformation with rigorous honesty. Feel the returning stability in your steps, notice the renewed firmness in your hand grip, and measure the ease with which you can lift yourself out of a low chair without assistance. Pay close attention to your daily energy levels and see how the heavy, leaden exhaustion begins to lift from your limbs as your mitochondria awaken. After these 30 days have passed, I want you to return to this very video and share your journey in the comment section. Tell us which warning signs have begun to fade, which muscles have reclaimed their healthy density, and how it feels to walk through the world with a body that finally obeys your mind. Your personal testimony will not only prove your own resilience, but will serve as a powerful beacon of hope for countless others who feel trapped in their own aging bodies. Rise to this challenge, because your independence is entirely worth fighting for, and the power to reverse this decline sits squarely within your hands. As we draw this journey to a close, let us look past the biological mechanics and confront the larger truth of what it means to age with true dignity and grace. Your muscle mass is not a cosmetic luxury or a superficial concern of youth. It is the ultimate armor of your longevity and the literal vehicle of your earthly freedom. Every step you take, every loved one you hold, every hobby you enjoy, and every memory you create depends entirely on the structural integrity of this muscular framework. To neglect it is to quietly surrender your autonomy, piece by piece, until you are left a prisoner within your own home, dependent on the charity of others. The ultimate profound lesson here is one of deep biological stewardship. We often view aging as an uncontrollable landslide, a passive, miserable descent that we must endure with quiet resignation. But modern science reveals a far more liberating reality. Your body is a dynamic, living conversation, and it responds directly to the inputs you choose to give it. When you allow chronic high blood glucose to ravage your blood vessels, or when you deny your body the concentrated high-quality protein it desperately needs, you are sending a clear signal to your cells that your physical foundation is no longer needed. Alternatively, when you consciously choose to feed your strength, manage your insulin, and protect your cellular hydration, you completely rewrite the script of your senior years. The deep lesson to apply to your current life right now is that health is not a permanent state inherited from youth, but a daily, conscious choice. True longevity requires you to stop treating your body as an ornament and start treating it as a complex engine that demands premium, deliberate care. Do not wait for a catastrophic fall, a broken bone, or a diagnosis of severe frailty to force your hand. Start today by looking at every single meal not just as a source of temporary comfort, but as a direct message of survival sent straight to your DNA. Protect your strength today so it can protect your life tomorrow. To help everyone in our community learn from each other's experiences, we would love to hear your thoughts on a very simple question. Have you noticed any changes in your physical strength or walking balance over the past year? Please share your perspective politely in the comments below so we can all read, compare notes, and support one another on this path to better health. If you found this video meaningful and want to protect your physical freedom, please subscribe to our channel. Your subscription directly supports us and gives us the ultimate motivation to keep creating deeply researched, high-quality content to help you thrive for years to come.